In this presentation, we're looking at the links between maths and literature. Most of us like a story, students certainly like stories, and if we can combine maths and literature, it is a context in which many students would feel much more relaxed than a normal maths lesson. So here are our learning outcomes for this session. We would like you to undertake shared reading of familiar picture storybooks to explore maths concepts. So thinking about what are those lovely storybooks you could read, what are the mathematical concepts that are established within those, to identify links to authentic mathematical concepts to extend foundational maths ideas, and to support effective questioning techniques to elicit students' mathematical understanding. I really love these two quotes. I think this is a really good reason as to why we need to include maths and literature together, or to have that combination. Marilyn Burns has written a lot of work, a lot of research, has conducted a lot of research into the links between maths and literature. I think that children's literature offers a wonderful vehicle for helping teachers teach math well. And Albert Einstein, even earlier, said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. And I think we could include their picture storybooks, chapter books, in fact, ask the children to read. So what are the benefits of using literature for maths? Well, maths ideas are taught in the context of a story. So rather than focusing on the maths, we're focusing on the context of the story and linking that to the maths. We can combine maths topics with literacy skills of reading, writing, speaking and listening. So can the children read the mathematics? Can they write mathematics? Can they speak it? And can they listen and interpret what's being said? Using stories, we can link to both historical and cultural topics and link those also to maths applications and connections. We can use concrete materials to illustrate parts of the story. There's a natural progression. For something like The Very Hungry Caterpillar, the natural progression is let's use real fruit to plastic fruit to maybe using things like Unifix to represent some of those pieces of fruit the children did, and then using that to create things like graphs. Teachers can evaluate children's understanding by reading or questioning in the context of the story. Students can be encouraged to solve problems while reading the story. So what are some of the problems, especially mathematical type problems? And students and their teachers share the experience of linking both reading and maths. So how do you choose a good book? What are the guidelines that we should be using? Is the book of a high quality from a literary perspective? Is it worth reading just for reading's sake, as well as linking it to maths? Does the book present content that's mathematically sound and grade level appropriate? So are there some misconceptions that are being highlighted in the book, or how are they actually being debunked? Is the book effective for helping students learn to think and reason mathematically? Does the book provide opportunities to introduce or reinforce mathematical symbols and vocabulary? So while the book may have it in words, may have the mathematical concepts in words, can the students then translate that into symbols? Can they extract the necessary vocabulary? Do they know how to write that vocabulary in symbols if they need to? And then will the book help build students' appreciation of both maths and literature? And these guidelines came from both Marilyn Burns and the New Zealand maths website, where they have got some really good resources. So how do we use books for promoting maths? Well, just like a normal reading lesson, show the cover of the book. Discuss what the focus of the book might be. This is a normal approach for teaching reading. Record any relevant vocabulary. So in this case, we're focusing on the vocabulary of the mathematics rather than some of the other vocabulary. So in The Hungry Caterpillar, you might be recording the size of the caterpillar or some of the words that are used to describe what's happening. Read the book or watch a reading of the book. Many of these very popular picture storybooks have been recorded by people who can perform them really well. The value of watching a video or a video clip of the book is that you can stop that wherever you like, just like you can when you're reading the book yourself. Reread the story, have a read through, get the gist of what the book is saying, and then have a reread where you stop to discuss what maths is illustrated. What questions can you ask? Think about those questions. What questions will promote both understanding and reasoning. Where possible, create and list some possible investigations that could follow from reading the book. So we might, if we've read The Very Hungry Caterpillar and we think about all the fruit that the caterpillar, I think all the food the caterpillar ate on a Saturday, maybe as a class we can investigate the sort of food we eat on a Saturday. As well as normal maths topics and concepts, we can actually stimulate mathematical investigations, things that lead into a more detailed investigation. Marston identified 3 different types of mathematical picture books. One where the book is purposely written to teach a specific maths concept or topic. So a book like Counting on Frank. The second type is where books have an incidental mathematical concept. So for something like The Goldilocks and the Three Bears, there would be some counting, there would be some location words. So we can actually use it. It wasn't developed purposefully for maths, but we certainly can use it for that. And there are some books that have embedded mathematical ideas, but they've been written to entertain rather than specifically for teaching and learning maths. So something like Uno's Garden. The New Zealand Maths website has a picture books mathematical content site where it lists picture storybooks, possible year levels and related mathematical topics. And so some of these books are across a lot of the different topics. So a book like The Very Hungry Caterpillar would be listed under counting, it would be listed under graphing, it would be listed under location, it would probably be listed again under measurement. And certainly would be listed under measurement, under time, because of the days of the week. So have a look at that website, have a look at the different suggestions they've made and see which ones fit with you. And just as a final slide, here's another website you might find useful where it is focusing on the maths you can look at through stories.